Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris and we are gathered here tonight for a little hot seat head-to-head action. And it's a little bit of a rematch of sorts because this game we did have somewhat recently on the show, but we brought these two Battle of the Big Brains back together to see how round number 2 goes. Let's meet our panelists. Our contestants. Sorry, Boozy, PTE. Just one big amalgamation in my mind. But first up, Huntsville, Alabama. Mike Mott, my friend, how you doing? What are you drinking?
Chris, I'm doing well. And hey, as we were discussing just before the show, given that we both have 5 or soon to be 5-year-olds that we chase around, the brain mush is a real thing. So no shame there. As for what I am drinking, I have the double high pitch IPA from Highwire Brewing, which is, of course, out of Asheville, North Carolina. This is an Imperial India Pale Ale described as extra hoppy and tropical, which is fitting because I think we're going to drop into the 30s tonight. But this should be the last little bout of winter, and then we hit spring.
Ooh.
I hope.
That reminds me to check the weather because we had the cold. I'm assuming it was a cold front. We had the huge thing of thunderstorms that came through today. And
the hiccups are starting already.
Yeah, we're going to be at 60 tomorrow. Awesome.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Low of 50, high of 60. Tomorrow's going to be a good fire pit day. We'll take that.
Nice.
You know what else I'll take? Hosting a trivia game featuring the one and only Brittany Shaw. Brittany, my friend, how you doing? What are you drinking? And how's Simba?
I'm doing great. I am not the one and only Brittany Shaw. In fact, I'm not even the most famous Brittany Shaw. There's some actress named Britt Shaw who comes up if you Google my name. But I will take it because I enjoy playing anytime I get to. As far as what I am drinking, I grabbed a beer from my fridge. And I thought it was a pear cider when I got it out, but it is not. But that's okay because I'm going to drink it anyway. It is from Indeed Brewing in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Imperial Pistachio Cream Ale. So
yum.
Picked it up when I was in Minneapolis last year. So we're going to try it because I do like a pistachio cream ale. I've never had one that's Imperial before.
Well, I hope you're happy because now I'm looking up Britt Shaw on IMDb.
You're very welcome.
How is
Dude,
it?
I
do technically have an IMDb page, though, so that's weird.
My brother-in-law does, too, from an independent film he did when he was like 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But as far as Simba goes, he is doing well. He's a little stinker as always. He will actually be, as to the best of my knowledge, because he's a rescue cat, to the best of my knowledge, he will be 10 years old next month.
Oh, wow. Simba getting old.
He's my little old man cat. He's really stabby right now, but he hates it when I try to clip his nails. So I'm going to try to get 1 or 2 later. But until then, he's just going to stab me every time he tries to snuggle me. So he's got murder mittens.
Brittany either has a really nice tail in front of us or she's happy to see us.
Well, you know. Don't ask, don't tell, right?
Right. Now that I know that Jeopardy gets you on IMDb, I'm just even that much more committed to getting on at some point in my lifetime.
I believe in you.
So Britt Shaw was in the movie Walk the Line.
Oh.
She played a character by the name of Etta Grant.
Okay.
Her most famous role, which is weird because I've seen most of these movies, not this one, but Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension.
Oh, weird.
I saw the first 3 or 4 Paranormal Activities, and they're fine.
I wasn't a fan of the first one, and I didn't care enough to watch any of the others. I'm not big on the jump scare factor.
Oh, it's all jump scares.
Yeah, I know. So I kind of hated it. But yeah.
Hopefully you like trivia.
Oh, I do like trivia. Yeah. I love trivia. But I was just going to say to Mike, like, if I can get on Jeopardy and get up there and, you know, do what I did and say Pavlova instead of Stockholm, anyone can get on Jeopardy. Like,
the camera
you can dream it, you can do it.
And then removes 3/4 of your brain, right?
Yes, something like that. It's amazing how much differently I played from the green room watching the rest of the week than I did, you know, out on the stage.
Yep.
Oh Lord. What's the green room like there? I have to know.
Oh, okay. So I said the green room. That was a lie. I have not actually been into the green room of Jeopardy because when I taped, it was still coming off of COVID protocols, so we couldn't be that close to each other.
Ah,
So instead of the green room, when we weren't filming, we were on the stage next door, sitting in the empty Wheel of Fortune studio.
Lovely.
Oh.
There were guards to make sure no one touched the wheel.
I guarantee there were. I'm not surprised at all. Because you know what I would have done? The first thing I would have done is touch the damn wheel.
Yeah, the wheel was covered. It says, "Please do not touch the wheel," and it only made me want to touch the wheel more.
Exactly.
There was a fun moment where they brought in the car that was the prize, and the alarm started going off on the car. And like people were trying to find the keys for the car so that they could turn the alarm off.
That's awesome.
So
That's hilarious.
a new car. Yeah,
Love it.
Oh, that's great.
it'll wake you up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As I'm ever going to get, so I'll take that. That's awesome. But we have got a little bit of a game here. Before we do, my turn.
Yeah.
It's March when we're recording this, so I got to tell the story about how I actually got my hands on this because so my daughter had a birthday party for one of the kids in her class up in Holiday, Florida, which is north of us. It's in that little county called Pasco County that no one really talks about because nothing good happened in Pasco County. But we went up there, and like as I'm driving up, I just feel this pain in the back of my eye. And I know that if it's in the back of my eye, it's going to go to the back of my head, then down. I'm like, I got a migraine coming on. So we get to the little jump place that they have the party at. And I told Leah, like, I'm going to pop a couple of Excedrin migraine. I am going to lay down and I am going to sleep and just try and get rid of this migraine because I'm useless when I have one. I woke up an hour into the party. I didn't want to go into the party. It felt a little weird. So I'm like, there's a Winn-Dixie next door. So I went over to Winn-Dixie. I'm like, I got to go to grocery shopping anyway. I'll kill some time. And they had one, just one, mixed Sam Adams winter pack.
Ah,
Whoa.
wow.
It is way late in the season to get this. This was probably canned back in like October. But I have got myself a Sam Adams old Fezziwig
Woohoo.
that I haven't had in over a year. So cheers.
So good. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's just it's a little hug of spice. I like it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into the game. Brittany, you are the visitor, so you'll get to pick for your pregame. Do you want odds or evens?
Well, let's see. Last time I was odd, and I think I lost to Mike. So let me double check that. Yeah. So I'm gonna pick evens this time because I lost last time when I picked odds.
All right, Mike, you are going to be odds then. Here's how this is going to work. I am going to give you the name of a country. You just have to tell me if for the year 2023, if they were in the top 7 exporters in the world in beer.
Okay.
Oh, exporters. Okay.
Exporters.
For some reason, my brain interpreted that as like exporters, like from the X Games and like skateboarders, and I was like, how is anyone gonna know that?
Flying Tomato has his own beer. No, so this is by dollar amount, not by cases or bottles.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to give you a country. They just tell me if they're in the top 7.
Okay.
Mike, your odds, we're going to start with you. Your country is Belgium.
I mean, gosh, I mean, it's such a small country, but I do feel like there's a lot of Belgian beers. And obviously the Belgian, it's a style of beer. So I'm going to say yes, they're in the top 7.
Belgium has gross exports of around $1.8 billion in beer a year. It is number 3. Nicely done. Brittany, your odds. Your country is Indonesia.
Okay. I can't think of any Indonesian beers off the top of my head. However, there are a lot of people in Indonesia, and it is a big country. So maybe by default, we'll say yes, top 7.
Oh, Indonesia is not. Didn't even crack the top 10.
I was just going to say, honestly, I would have been inclined to go yes too, because it would have been like, if Indonesia's not there, would Chris have put Indonesia on the list? you play all those kind of games in your head,
He would, just to mess with us.
True.
I just did, and it worked.
That's right. It did.
In your head now.
I know.
What's in your head?
Mike,
Dreams.
to stop singing, we're going to ask this question. Mike, your country is Spain.
So we're not going to acknowledge what Brittany just did. We're just going to let it linger.
Do you have to? Do you have to?
We're way off the rails here. Spain. No, I'm going to say no. No on Spain.
Spain, with exports of roughly 344 million, was number 10 on the list. You're correct. It is a no. Brittany, we're moving over to you. You get China.
Okay, so I know I just use this argument for Indonesia, but China, I mean, globally, if it's the tops of anything, China's usually up there, and safely I would say top 7. So I'm going to say yes.
China, 452 million, came in at number 6.
Oh, okay, that's right.
It is in the top 7. Mike, number 5 goes to you. Your country is Mexico.
Mexico. Oof. That's a really good one, because obviously there's a few Mexican beers that are very, very heavily consumed in the United States. However, does that expand beyond that? Like is I could see Belgian beers are consumed worldwide. I don't know how far of a range Mexican beers have, but I am still going to say yes, because their beers are so heavily consumed.
Mexico checks in with $5.8 billion.
Okay.
It is number 1 by far.
With a bullet. Okay. I was like, I know it's number 1 here. Yeah.
All right, Mike, got the point there. Moving on, number 6. Brittany, we're going back to you. Your country is India.
Okay, so you gave me Indonesia. Now you're giving me India. Now, I know that there's an India Pale Ale, and that probably comes from India. And they're so stinking popular. I don't like them personally, but I know a lot of people do. Like my friend and me co-host Tim, freaking loves them, drinks them all the time. Wish he'd, try something different every so often. But you know what? Whatever. I'm going to say yes.
India's a no.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm
They
not.
have a whole beer name for them.
But unlike the Belgian style, which it did originate in Belgium, the India Pale Ale actually originated in Great Britain, and was so named because they had to add extra hops to keep the beer fresh long enough to get it to India.
You live,
well,
you learn.
Some of us don't know the entire history of the India Pale Ale, Mike. Look,
I'm sorry, I was not trying to come across as a know-it-all. It was just funny.
I'm winning the Roman numeral game right now. I may not be winning this game, but I'm winning with Roman numerals.
Oh, my Lord. Mike, we're going over to you next. Number 7, you're going to get Russia.
I am going to say niet on Russia.
Niet is a correct answer. It is not. Number 8, Brittany, we're going to you. You get Brazil.
Oh, I imagine they sell a Brazilian beers a year, but since that's not an actual number, I'm going to say no.
No is a correct answer. Brazil not up there. Number 9, going to Mr. Mike Mott. Mike, you get the United Kingdom.
Ooh.
Where's all your knowledge going to help you out now, Mike?
I totally deserved that.
Yes, you did.
You know what? Let's not think too much about it. My gut said yes. I'm going to stick with it. Yes.
578 million is good enough for number 5 on the list. Brittany, we're going to end it with you. You get the Czech Republic, or Czechia.
Okay, well, that's where Prague is. So I'm going to throw this out the window and say no.
Oh, number 7 on the list. Czech Republic is they have a huge beer scene there.
Yeah. I liked what you did there, though, Brittany.
Well, I made a palindrome with my numbers, so.
Is that where the defenestration happens?
Yeah,
Twice.
Yeah.
3 of them.
3 of them. Yeah. Yeah.
If I had a nickel for every fenestration in Prague, I'd have 3 nickels, which is more than 2.
Yeah.
It is odd that it's happened more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just like the rest of this game, we're going to throw the pregame out the window. Mike, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, would the other 2 that we didn't get to in the top 7 be the United States and Germany?
Yes.
Okay. Because the only reason I asked is I wish everybody could have seen Brittany right now. She's like, yeah.
I like that you just did the same thing that people couldn't
Oh,
see.
no, exactly. It's an audio medium. Right. No, the reason I asked is because the United States and Germany were the first 2 countries that popped into my head.
There's a reason.
I was like, okay, those 2 are by definite yeses if they come up, and neither of them came up.
There's a reason I went to 7 instead of 5.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think the fact that I thought this was going to be about extreme skateboarders, I don't think 3 is too shabby of a score for myself.
Not at all.
Except it's 2 because I'm supposed to count the I's and not the X's. Look, Mike got 5. Mike ran the odds.
Well, the odds were ever in his favor. Brittany, what are our scores going into hot seat round 1?
Mike has 5 and I have 2.
5-2. That means, Brittany, you're choosing first or second in the hot seat round.
I will pick first. I will go first. I mean, I'm picking first, but I will also go first.
Yeah, you're not picking anything. I'm picking.
Okay. I choose to go first in this half.
Okay, calm down, Dexter Holland. The only one choosing anything is me.
Nice reference, though.
I know he's got a PhD.
Microbiology?
Yeah,
Something
I believe
like
so.
that.
Microbiology. Yeah.
I choose. All right, Brittany, I've got 15 minutes on the clock, a nonstop barrage of trivia questions and answers. We're going to start with you. Here we go. Brittany, what song, which requires a fee to be paid to Warner Chappell if played on television or in the movies, has a famous melody written in 1893 by sisters Patty and Mildred Hill?
As time goes by?
No, that would be Happy Birthday to You. Mike.
Does it still charge?
I didn't realize that was.
I
Yeah.
thought it was public domain now.
I think it is public domain now, but probably not when that question was written. So, Mike, Kansas, Memphis, Texas, and North Carolina are famous as being the 4 main types of what type of cooking?
Barbecue.
Keep your mustard out of my damn barbecue. That is a correct answer. Brittany, Yolanda Saldivar shot and killed what queen of Tejano music in 1995?
R.I.P. Selena Quintanilla.
Selena is correct. Mike, moving on to you here. Who invented alternating electrical currents?
Tesla.
Nikola Tesla is correct. Brittany, which of these is a collective noun for a group of unicorns? A fantasy, a sparkle, or a blessing?
A blessing.
It is a blessing. Mike, Project Purple was the internal company code name for which Apple product?
The iMac.
Oh, no, that'd be the iPhone.
iPhone. Okay.
Brittany, if someone is not familiar with another person, they might say, I don't know him from whom?
Adam.
Adam is correct. Mike, to win a superfecta wager at the track, a bettor must pick how many of the top finishers in the right order?
Let's see. A trifecta is 3, so I'm going to say superfecta is 4.
Superfecta is 4. That is correct. Brittany, a staple of baking known for its malleability and thickness, what almond-based confection is commonly used in decorative cake competitions to create figurines and other of the more complex designs?
Marzipan.
Marzipan is a correct answer. Mike, moving on to you. In golf, what is a score of 3 shots under par known as?
Albatross.
You'll never even get a freaking birdie, but you'll get albatross playing trivia, Mike. You've probably birdied in your life once or twice.
I it was like my second hole ever. I birdied and it was all downhill from there.
Well, mini golf doesn't count. Brittany, moving on to you.
It's the only kind of golf I play.
Brittany, who was credited for directing the 1984 commercial that debuted Apple's personal Macintosh computer?
David Lynch.
Oh, not a
Good
bad
guess.
It was Ridley Scott. Mike, quote, in his own right, Write, was the first book published by which member of the Beatles?
John Lennon.
John Lennon is correct. Brittany, what is the name of the cat that goes missing in the iconic comedy Meet the Parents?
The only thing I can think of is I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? And I think that's in reference to the cat. But I don't know the cat's name, so I'm just gonna say Greg.
No, it'd be Greg Fokker as Ben Stiller's character. This would be either Jinxie or Mr. Jinx. I think they called him Jinxie, but his official name was Mr. Jinx. Mike,
Gotcha.
which TV personality is actually a former fashion model who once spent a summer modeling for Chanel before legal troubles both hurt and helped her career?
First name popping in my head is Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart is correct. By the way,
I didn't realize the legal troubles dated back that far. Sorry.
no, they didn't. The legal troubles
Okay.
was just something that happened that did both hurt and then eventually help her career.
Mm-hmm.
Google
Gotcha.
Martha Stewart Chanel. Impressive. All right. Brittany, we're going to move on to you here. The modern day countries of Uruguay, Mozambique, and Angola were all part of which European colonial empire?
Can you say the countries again?
Uruguay, Mozambique, and Angola.
I'm gonna say France or
Not
French.
a bad guess. They're Portuguese. They're from Portugal.
Oh.
Mike, which Canadian rocker has released 2 fragrances, Black Star and Forbidden Rose?
I guess I'll say Bryan Adams.
Oh no, Mike! One thing I did hear about Bryan Adams is that Bryan Adams was in fact a skater boy. We're looking for Avril Lavigne.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Brittany,
I guess she kind of qualifies as rock.
like a pop punk rock.
Pop. No, she's pop. Yeah, she's pop rock. No, yeah.
Brittany, heading
I mean,
over.
I said Bryan Adams. It's so much better.
That's true.
Anyway,
Brittany, who starred with Mel Gibson in the romantic comedy What Women Want?
I have no idea. Meg Ryan.
No, it'd be Helen Hunt. I also would have accepted Bodily Autonomy. Mike.
Pockets.
Love it.
Also.
Love it.
Pockets. Mike, which ancient civilization is often credited with inventing the wheel?
So I am going to say I will say the Romans.
No, Brittany, you want to tell them for no points?
Oh, I don't actually know. I would guess the Phoenicians.
The Sumerians, actually.
Okay.
Sumerians. Phoenicians, I was like, that was the first thing popped in my head. I was like, no, they were the alphabet. And then like that's the only thing I feel like that's the only thing they're known for. I'm sure they did other things, but
All right, Brittany, we're going to go to you next.
Mm-hmm.
Smart credit cards or chip cards are also called EMV cards. EMV is an acronym for the trio of credit card companies that set the standard. 2 of those companies are MasterCard and Visa. What is the third?
it's a dick question.
Equifax. I don't know.
No, this would be the European counterpart, Europay.
The reason I called it a dick question is because like she's like MasterCard and Visa are very.
I was
like,
trying to think of what EMV stood for, and I was like, electronic.
that's what I, yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Europay, MasterCard, Visa. All right, Mike,
I was
going over
so
to you.
lost.
Mike, what is the capital of Morocco?
Casablanca,
No, Rabat.
Mhm.
Rabat. Okay.
Brittany, within 3 years either way, in what year was the first commercially developed satellite Telstar launched?
1991.
Ooh, well before that, 1962.
Okay.
Mike, how many points does a rugby try count for?
Ugh. 4.
Oh, close, 5.
Dang it! My brain said 5, and I
Mhm.
changed it. Whatever.
Brittany, the plot of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, revolves around the kidnapping of what team's mascot?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
No, it'd be the Miami Dolphins.
Hmm.
And no, we're not talking about a guy in a dolphin costume. An actual dolphin got stolen. Mike,
Okay.
which MCU actor whose role in the MCU dates back to 2008 portrayed the character of Mission Commander John Robinson in the movie version of Lost in Space?
Oh gosh. William Hurt.
William Hurt is a correct answer.
I was so in Iron Man territory, I forgot Incredible Hulk came out that year too.
Brittany, which iconic James Bond villain has been played by all of the following actors? Donald Pleasance, Telly Savalas, Charles Gray, Max von Sydow, and Christoph Waltz.
Is his name like Scaramouche or Scaramaccio or something like that? Scaramanga.
No, this would be Ernst Blofeld. Blofeld,
Sure it would.
we're looking for there. Like, the Great Expectations boat ride is an attraction at a British theme park inspired by whom?
I really hope this is Charles Dickens, because if it's not, I'm lost.
Just, who would go to a Dickensian theme park?
I know
Like, it can't be fun.
Yeah.
Like, come in, experience hard times.
Right. Is there a lady just like sitting in the corner, like very slowly knitting a quilt, like
And serving you moldy cake? I mean,
The correct answer is Ethan Hawke.
oh, fair enough.
No, it's Charles.
I was like, I already marked the point down. Don't make me take it away.
He got it. All right. Brittany, born in 1989, who released the album titled 1989 in 2014?
Okay, I was also born in 1989, but this is Taylor Swift.
This is our goddess Tay. Taylor Swift is correct. Mike, a broken laser pointer was the first item to be sold on what website?
That was eBay.
eBay is correct, and I applaud you for not breaking into the Weird Al version of eBay.
It literally went through my head.
eBay.
I had to silence my head so I could I could actually answer the question.
I'm sorry, Mike. Would you say that you were in your head?
Oh, that's a callback. That's a callback, sir.
It is. Brittany, going over to you next. Within one either way, in what year did Facebook surpass 1 billion users?
So you keep giving me these Mike questions, which on the one hand, I'm grateful for because it means Mike's not getting them. But on the other hand, I'd like to know them. I'm going to say 2013.
That is within one, 2012. Nicely
Oh,
done,
hey.
Brittany.
And I'd have missed it. I'd have said 2014. So
Mike, going over to you next. Cardi B first rose to fame in 2015 when she appeared on what reality television show?
this always comes up, and I always forget it. Because of my general reality TV is a huge blind spot because I don't care. Love and Hip Hop.
Need you to be more
Something
specific.
What's that?
I need you.
Love and Hip Hop New York.
Love and Hip Hop New York is correct.
Okay. I don't know. I cannot believe that I managed to find that in
Brittany.
the recesses of my brain.
An employee at what store was trampled to death on Black Friday at the Green Acres Mall in 2008?
I mean, I feel like this could be so many stores.
Well, it was the place.
I would say it was not the place to be if you're getting trampled to death.
I mean, gut instinct is Walmart. I don't think it's right, but I'm going to say Walmart.
Walmart is right, and none of you picked up on my Green Acres joke.
Oh, I did.
I
was just too busy thinking.
I had it locked in as well. I guess Green Acres was not the place to be, and then you already made my joke, so I just had to follow up with the one I was going to make.
Farm living is life for me. We're going to move right along here. Walmart is correct, Brittany. Mike, in 1995, which celebrity became a quadriplegic after being thrown from a horse during an equestrian competition?
Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve is correct. Brittany. Traditionally, s'mores are made by sandwiching chocolate and marshmallows between what?
Graham crackers.
Graham
the
crackers.
lust killers. That's why they were invented.
Absolutely. Right there with
To
cornflakes.
make the church's lust.
Right there with cornflakes. Yep.
I'm going to get turgid whenever I see one now. Oh, Graham.
Spoiler alert. They do not work.
I sandwich a Viagra between mine. So,
Like, I'm going to go have a s'more and I'm going to come get some more.
this game's been mostly jokes with some trivia sprinkled in.
Right.
I don't even know whose turn we're on. Mike, one yours. Mike, the hard-hitting crime drama, the series The Wire, was set in what U.S. city?
Baltimore.
Good morning, Baltimore. That's correct. Brittany,
Mhm.
what is the name of the pet dinosaur on the TV cartoon The Flintstones?
It's just Dino, right? Dino?
It is Dino. That is right. Mike, which Mexican painter was most known for her self-portraits?
Frida Kahlo.
Frida Kahlo is correct. Brittany, during its first season in 1917, how many teams were in the NHL or National Hockey League?
6.
4.
What? But they're called the original 6.
Mm-hmm. They added 2 later.
I actually thought it was 6 too. So
I will go back and look at it. I thought it was
No,
4.
you're
but
probably right.
No, we're
I
gonna-
was too confident about his sports knowledge.
If I'm wrong about a hockey question, then someone who's a hockey fan is going to get out there and yell at me,
Mhm.
or Tim's going to have too much free time. I'm going to
Well, where's the people to yell at you about happy birthday not being in the public domain on that first question?
They're both on this. They're both in this call right now. Neither one of you made a fuss. All right.
I semi-fussed, but it's fine.
So that means time is up, and we started
What?
with Brittany.
Yeah, so Mike gets his.
Mike you get one last question here. Mike, in the later seasons of the TV show Family Matters, Steve Urkel had an alter ego. What was his full name? And yes, pronunciation matters.
I hope he didn't have a middle name, because I remember him as Stefan Urkel.
Stefan Urkel is a correct answer.
And by the way, the answer is the Montreal Canadiens, the Montreal Wanderers, the Ottawa Senators, and the Toronto Arenas were the first 4 teams in the NHL.
There you go.
Long before the first 6, I guess. I don't know.
So with that, Brittany, we're not going to get you the points there, but do you have a score update for us going into our halftime round?
I do. We can skip it though. It's fine. No, I got 9 in that round, bringing me up to 11. Mike got an admirable 14 in that round, bringing him up to 19. Look,
All right.
one of us was funnier than the other one.
Yeah.
And one of us was
And-
more correct than the other one.
So because I disappeared down this rabbit hole even further because of the original 6 thing,
Mhm.
that first season dates back to 1917, but the original 6 didn't actually start playing until the 1942 season, and basically was just them for the next 25 years. So
And
there
then
you go.
the Lightning became a thing, and all was right with the world.
Sure.
3 Stanley
We'll go with
Cups later. All right. We are moving into our halftime round. Your halftime round is a little bit different. So I'm going to explain how this is going to go. You're probably going to want a pen and paper if you don't have one. Brittany, I know you do because you're keeping score. Otherwise, you're just really good at keeping things in your head, or you're making all of this up.
Who's to say?
Indeed.
All right.
Look, does this look like I'm making stuff up to you?
That looks like chicken scratch.
That's fair.
So, your halftime question is going to have 7 possible answers. You're going to give me 7 answers. To get points, you're not going to get points until you get at least 3 right. So your first and second correct answer are worth 0 points. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 4 points apiece.
Huh. Okay.
Okay.
So we have to get a minimum of 2 to get any points. I guess.
A minimum of 3 to get any points. 2 get you
Correct. Right.
right. Here's the other piece of this. You got 3 minutes to lock in your answers.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Okay.
3 minutes, 7 answers is what I'm looking for. And the 7 is because of this. There are 7 countries in the world that end with these 4 letters. You've got 3 minutes to give me those 7 countries. Those 4 letters are LAND, or land. Time begins now.
I'm locked in.
I'll go ahead and lock in. I'm not going to come up with another one.
All right. Brittany, how many did you come up with?
7.
Mike?
I have a list of 7, but I'm iffy on whether 2 of them technically qualify.
All right.
Well, yeah, technically I had a list of 8, but I figured out the 7th one, so I figured out that last one wasn't it.
Okay. Yeah, I figured there was at least one that I'm missing.
Let's go through this. Brittany, what's the first one that you had?
Finland.
Mike, did you have Finland?
I forgot Finland.
Finland's the correct answer. So Brittany and Mike, you both have 0 points right now still. Mike, what's the next one on your first one on your list?
For whatever reason, Swaziland was the first thing that popped into my head.
that got renamed to Eswatini in like the 90s, I think.
Yep. It is
Okay.
Eswatini. Is it Eswatini? I've been mispronouncing that name. I thought it was.
I think you're right. I've heard it both ways.
But I do want to point out, here is the problem. It's not that I'm bad at geography. It's that my geography knowledge dates back to the 80s when I had a globe that I studied religiously.
Mike,
Well,
I am fairly.
I need to let you know that the
globe.
USSR dissolved in like the early 90s.
Yeah, right. But that's exactly right. Yeah.
No, I know.
All right, Brittany, what's the next one on your list?
Iceland.
Mike, did you have Iceland?
I did have Iceland, yes.
All right. So, Brittany, you're in the money now going out of this. Mike, you just need one more to get in the money. Mike, what's next on your list?
This is one of the two that I was iffy on, but I wrote England.
England is part of the United Kingdom for the purpose of this.
That's why I was iffy about it. Okay.
Brittany, what's next on your list?
Ireland.
Mike, did you have Ireland?
I did not have Ireland.
All right. Brittany, let's keep going through your list here then. What else did you get?
Poland.
Mike, did you have Poland?
Didn't have Poland.
Brittany, what's next?
New Zealand.
New Zealand is correct. Mike, did you have New Zealand?
I did have New Zealand, yes.
Mike, you're officially in the money. Brittany, you've got 3 correct answers so far. You've got 2 answers left to give me. What did you come up with?
Switzerland.
Mike, did you have Switzerland?
I had Switzerland.
Switzerland is the correct answer. And your last one, Brittany?
Thailand.
Mike, did you have Thailand?
I had Thailand.
Mike, you both got the one I forgot. So nicely done.
The other one I was iffy on, of course, was Greenland.
That's part of Denmark.
Which is part of Denmark, exactly. That's why I was iffy on.
Scotland.
Yeah, Greenland was my question mark one, and then I was like, "Oh, that's not a country."
Yep.
And when I remembered Thailand, I was like, "Oh, right."
And as I was walking around the globe in my brain, I didn't go far enough north to get Finland, and I just completely blanked on Ireland.
I kept thinking of Swaziland, and I was like, "No, that's not it," because it's Eswatini now.
Right.
So that's why when you were like, "Oh, Swaziland," I was like, "It got renamed," because that's what I kept having to tell myself.
Well, Brittany just flexed her big brain there and got all 7 correct. So Brittany's going to pick up 20. Mike, you're going to pick up 8 for your 4 correct. All right, Brittany, when you have a second.
So after that, with Mike getting 8 points in total for his 4 correct, because only 2 of them counted, right?
Right.
8 points.
Yep.
That brings you up to 27, Mike.
Yep. Okay.
And then somehow a miracle of me knowing something in geography, I got 20 points, bringing me up to 31.
It's anybody's ball game, which means, Mike, you're choosing first or second in hot seat round. Dos.
I always go first. You know that.
I know. All right.
Poor Nikki. Sorry.
I said go, not the other word.
Oh.
Which, if you interpret it a certain way, can mean yay, Nikki. Just saying.
Yeah.
My God. This is like, I think I just can't have you two on the show together again.
Or
well, that makes
you
me sad.
have another pairing, because this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Guapo is just falling out of his chair at work laughing right now.
I really hope so. I hope we are making Guapo's day better.
I do too, but I also hope he's not the only one. I also hope he doesn't send me even more like geography shit.
Oh yeah,
I do have a globe. I can literally see it. I can literally see it right over there.
So you just need to study that globe.
Right.
Go find Eswatini on. I'm just kidding. I'm going to give you a hard time about that, and that's really not
that's
fair.
fine. That's fine.
At all. My God. All right. By the way, Guapo is in fact billing us for these hours, so we're going to keep moving right along here.
Mm-hmm.
Hot seat round 2. Mike, we're going to start with you. 15 minutes on the clock begins after I read this question. Mike, within 3 years either way, name the year that the crew of the Apollo 13 landed safely following an explosion that nearly ended the mission and their lives.
1970.
1970 on the dot is correct. Brittany, a chicken appears on a pro-vegetarian PETA sticker that read, quote, "I am not a what?"
A food?
No, that sticker would famously read, "I am not a nugget."
Oh.
Ah.
Mike, King Zog ruled which country that borders the Adriatic Sea from 1922 to 1939, and survived over 55 assassination attempts during his rule?
Adriatic Sea. Greece?
I know that'd be Albania.
Okay.
Brittany, natives of what country traditionally have a last name that combines their father's first name with either, quote, son or daughter, Dottir?
What country?
Mm-hmm.
Sweden?
No, that'd be Iceland.
Ah.
Mike, who was the first emperor of Rome?
The first emperor of Rome was Augustus.
Caesar Augustus is correct. Brittany, want to keep this in mind that you got that last question and this question. He got Augustus. Brittany, in what decade was the first Indy 500 held?
1930s.
Not a bad guess. 1911, actually. Goes back even further than I thought.
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
It's not.
I was gonna make a comment like it's just really I wish that our listeners could see just somebody like back there wrecking shit while Brittany's trying to play.
But he's cute. We let him do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Mike, the Bell Nord building at 225 West 86th Street in New York was completed by the Astors as a residential property and now serves as the exterior for what main setting on the main setting on what Hulu television series?
Only Murders in the Building?
Only Murders in the Building is correct. That'd be the Arconia. Brittany, within 3 years either way, name the year the space station Skylab was launched.
1981.
Ooh, 73 is what we're looking for. Mike, what color is the, quote, black box on an airplane?
I think it's actually orange.
It is actually orange. Speaking of orange, Brittany, name the Nickelodeon Kids TV show that featured 5 friends who used their imaginations to turn their backyard into epic adventures.
I mean, I thought this was a Cartoon Network show, but I'm going to say Codename Kids Next Door.
Unfortunately, not. This would be a show by the name of The Backyardigans.
Oh, way too late for my knowledge.
Well, only because of Backyard was that going to be my guess. I've never seen a single minute of it.
Mike, what disorder was shared by Robert Lowell, Sylvia Plath, Virginia Woolf, and Patricia Cornwall?
Depression?
No, it's bipolar disorder.
Bipolar specifically. Okay.
Yep. Brittany, since its 1963 debut, this Milton Bradley board game has tried to stay up to date with the times. In its latest version, it allowed for pets. What board game is it?
What is the Game of Life?
Yeah, it sucks. Game of Life is correct. Mike, if you were driving down the Autobahn, you'd be driving in which country?
Germany.
Brittany, in the early 1960s, the Beatles popularized which style of haircut?
What is the mop top?
The mop top is correct.
I love the Jeopardy style.
Look, sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes it just gets there.
It's beautiful.
Mike, what classic video game character was originally titled Mr. Needlemouse?
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sonic the Hedgehog is correct.
I've never heard that before. That's hilarious.
Brittany, which son of a U.S. president died along with his wife and sister-in-law while piloting a single-engine plane that crashed near Martha's Vineyard?
Kennedy.
Be more specific.
Robert/Bobby?
No, it'd be John F. Kennedy Jr.
Ugh.
Mike, name 3 of the 4 national languages of Switzerland.
Swiss.
No, I know all 4.
German. French. I don't know.
Swiss is not a correct answer. Brittany, for no points. Do you want to be the know-it-all to Mike this time?
It's German, French, Italian, and Romanche.
Oh, okay.
Those are the 4. All right, Brittany.
The hell's Romanche?
It's a sort of, I think it's like a historical, I think it's spoken by the Romani people, but I'm not sure. But it's sort of like I'm not entirely sure.
No, I've never heard of it.
On our next podcast, things Brittany does or does not know.
Don't get Jay started on the podcast she wants to launch.
I'm getting her started. That podcast sounds amazing. Brittany, we're going to you, though. Which Grammy-nominated New York rapper died in April of 2021?
Is that DMX?
He's going to give it to you. Probably not anymore. DMX is the correct answer. Mike, Dismaland, Dismaland, was a temporary parody theme park created in Somerset, England in 2015 by whom?
Dismaland. Richard Branson.
Unfortunately, that'd be Banksy.
Oh.
Brittany, what locomotive-themed 2004 Board Game of the Year winner shares its name with a popular Beatles song?
Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride is the correct answer. Mike, a pop version of I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing was used to advertise which drink?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola is correct. B. Shaw, going to you next. Who was the lead singer of the rock and pop band The Four Seasons?
Frankie Valli.
Frankie Valli is correct. Mike.
I was panicking when you said name a singer.
Mike, who was the captain of the freighter the Maersk, Alabama, when it was hijacked by Somali pirates?
Phillips.
Captain Phillips is the correct answer.
Well done.
Brittany, which New York Yankees pitcher threw a perfect game in Game 5 of the 1956 World Series?
Ted Williams.
That's Matt Lamia is pulling his car over and throwing stuff right now.
I adore that answer. Are you kidding? Come on.
No,
Guessing not a Yankee, not a pitcher.
He's not only a Yankee, he's a Red Sox, so that's even worse. Like, I love it.
Be Don Larson's what we're looking
Don Larson.
Brittany, Mike.
Oh.
And if you ever look up Don Larson's career record, it's just so funny that he's known for that because he was not a good pitcher.
Not at all. Mike, which goddess of wisdom supported Odysseus during his journey?
Athena.
Wonder who's playing Athena in the Nolan movie.
Lupita Nyong'o is who they're rumoring.
Oh, that would be wonderful casting. I love her.
It hasn't been officially announced, but I saw a rumor earlier.
I really want that to be a thing.
I have such a crush on her. It's not even funny.
I was going to say, it's almost fair she's not Aphrodite, but anyway.
Because Andra Day is playing Athena in the Percy Jackson season 2.
Cool.
So
I don't care about Percy Jackson. You know what I do care about? Asking
somewhere Tim is pulling his car over and throwing things at 1.6 times speed.
That's He's not even here. All right, Brittany. Arthur Ashe defined greatness on the tennis court. Within 10 years, though, in what year was Arthur Ashe born?
1927.
No, 1943.
Oh, gosh.
Mike, in what Southeast Asian country did Anthony Bourdain film a 2016 episode of Parts Unknown with Barack Obama?
Vietnam.
Vietnam is a correct answer.
Wow.
Okay.
Brittany, in 2000, which former First Lady was elected to the Senate representing New York?
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Hillary Clinton is a correct answer. Mike, which American author in 1954 Nobel Prize winner wrote A Farewell to Arms?
Ernest Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway is a correct answer. Brittany, dating back to before U.S. independence, what is the oldest university in the United States?
That be Harvard?
Harvard is correct. Mike, who penned the 2018 autobiography titled Becoming?
Becoming. I don't know why. I don't remember if this was the title or not, but was that Michelle Obama?
That was Michelle Obama. By the way, I don't know if you realize this, but when Brittany knows an answer that she can't say anything, she's like dancing a little bit. She's like doing this with her hands. She's like
somewhat to stop myself from saying it.
I haven't noticed because I don't know if you noticed, but I always stare away from the screen when I'm trying to come up with an answer.
All right, Brittany, we're going to you next. Name the year within 3. Name the year this event took place. Google Incorporated is founded by Larry Page and Sergey Brin.
1995?
Oh, no, 1988. Mike, within 2 years, name the year that Czechoslovakia ceased to exist as a country.
1991.
That is within 2. 1993 is what we're looking for. Brittany, Josh Holloway, Naveen Andrews, and Dominic Monaghan are actors associated with which iconic television show?
Lost?
Lost is correct.
Chris, I want you to double check the Google answer because I thought it was 1998 and Wikipedia seems to confirm that. So I think Brittany should get the point.
Okay, we'll give her the point. I could have a mistype on the sheet, so that's fine. Brittany, rewind.
I gave myself an extra point.
All right.
Yep. Sorry for the interruption. Continue.
Mike.
No, you can interrupt with that anytime.
Mike. 1969, Johnny Cash sang a song about a boy named what?
Sue.
My name is Sue. Do. Now you're going to die. Sue is correct. Brittany. Who became the first member of the band One Direction to quit the band?
Zayn Malik.
Zayn Malik is a correct answer. Mike.
Why do I know that? Anyway.
Mike, released in 2012, what was the name of the first new Rolling Stones song in 7 years?
Wow. I kind of forgot the Rolling Stones had new songs in this century. I honestly do not know. Still going strong.
Quite the opposite. Doom and gloom. Brittany, the Mayan Empire was centered in what is now what Central American country?
Guatemala?
Guatemala is correct.
Okay.
Mike, what's the name of the cat and mouse cartoon that features heavily on the animated television show The Simpsons?
Itchy and Scratchy.
The Itchy and Scratchy show is correct. Brittany, which female rapper starred in the movie Hustlers and is the voice of Lydia in the animated feature film Ugly Dolls?
Was it Cardi B?
No, it was Lizzo.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Mike.
I never think of her as a rapper.
Mike, what instrument is used by the indigenous people of Australia to accompany ceremonial dancing and singing?
When I think of I think of the didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo is a correct answer. And we've got one question remaining. Brittany, this is for you. Receiving over 20 million views on YouTube, what is the name of Lana Del Rey's debut single?
Summertime Sadness?
No, that single was called Video Games.
Oh, I've heard that song. I just didn't.
It's all right. That brings us to the end of Hot Seat round 2, but I want to check one answer real quick. Yeah, I wanted to validate that Lizzo was in fact a rapper, so she is listed as a singer-rapper.
I just never think of her as a rapper. That was more me not thinking of her as a rapper. She also was in Hustlers. I just don't think I would have called her the star of Hustlers, but also I wouldn't have called Cardi B the star of Hustlers, so it's not a big deal.
No, well, the issue is the question was originally written as which female pop star, and I remember writing this question because I was originally trying to get you to Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But
which is the only person I could have told you was in Hustlers.
Yes. And then I changed it because I thought that was too easy, and I went towards Lizzo, but I never went back and updated the pop star language. So I apologize.
Oh, that's fine.
Brittany, do we have a score update?
We do. So after those score reviews, and thanks to Mike for looking up the Google thing, I picked up 11 in that round, bringing my total score to 42. Mike picked up 15 that round, bringing his total score up to 42.
Yep.
Could you guys just find a way to not have Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy references?
I was gonna say we just love Douglas Adams, man. What do you want?
All right, well, everyone, grab your towels. It's time to go on to the wager round.
Get your towels ready. It's about to go down.
We are moving into our wager round. The wager round goes. Y'all have been here before. You know how this works, but you got a couple of rules. So you have your points. You each have 42 of them. You can break up and wager your points in any way, shape, or form that you want, but you're wagering them on categories alone in the wager round. Your categories are as follows. Category number 1, American presidents. Category number 2, music festivals. Category number 3, current events. American presidents, music festivals, current events. Lock in your wagers now. Wagers are locked in. Let's go through this. Question number 1. Your category is U.S. presidents. What man who first made a name for himself as a captain during the War of 1812, but rose to prominence during the Mexican-American War, was the most recent man to be elected president of the United States who was neither a Democrat nor a Republican?
I'm going to lock in.
Oh man. Is a really good question. I like this a lot. I know what time frame we're looking at. I know where my gut told me, but I'm just trying to figure out if he really would have been the last one. This is a good question. And I'm trying not to second guess my gut, because usually when I do that, it goes badly. All right. I will go ahead and lock in with the first name that popped in my head.
All right. Question number 2, your category was music festivals. In 2020, Spin magazine rated the first iteration of What Music Festival that began in 1991 as the best concert of the preceding 35 years. While it has moved on from its initial US-based roots, it still puts on shows around the world. It most recently had a show in Berlin in September of 2024.
I'll lock in.
I will also lock in.
All right. We are moving on to question number 3. Your category was current events. What early Reddit rival initially launched in 2004 and peaked at over 40 million monthly users announced that it will relaunch this year with a focus on, quote, humanity and connection, and boosted by their utilization of AI to run the, quote, grunt work of social media. The grunt work of running a social media company. I apologize.
Can you repeat that? I'll lock in.
I'm between two, and I'm just trying to decide which one. So I'll do a mental coin flip. I'm going to go with the first one that popped in my head. I'll lock in.
All right. We're going to go question by question through this, but we're going to do it Chris's way, which means we're going to flip this bad boy over and go bottom to top.
I mean, it's your proclivities, whatever you want.
Hey,
man. I'm not here to kink shame.
Yeah, none of us judge here.
Yeah.
Question number 3, category was current events. What early Reddit rival initially launched in 2004 and peaked at 40 million monthly users announced it will relaunch this year with a focus on, quote, humanity and connection, and boosted by their utilization of AI to run the, quote, grunt work of running a social media company? Brittany, let's start with you, your answer and your wager.
I wagered 15 on this, and I'm not entirely sure that was wise, but I think I remember seeing something about this making a comeback recently, and I am going to go with my gut and say Tumblr.
Mike, your answer and your wager.
To be honest, Tumblr was not on my radar, but I did not have any current event related to either of the two sites that popped into my head that would have been Reddit rivals or kind of Reddit adjacent around this time. Although ironically, 2004, Reddit was not on my radar, and these two were more. I was between Fark and Dig, and I ended up going with Fark.
What was your wager, Mike?
I wagered 5 on that one.
Mike, you should have gone the other direction.
Damn it.
Dig.
Damn it.
Dig is the company that we're looking for there. All right.
So Mike lost 5.
Mike lost 5.
15.
37 to 27. Mike has a 10-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
Moving into question number 2, your category was music festivals. In 2020, Spin magazine rated the first iteration of What Music Festival that began in 1991 as the best concert of the preceding 35 years. While it has moved on from its initial U.S. roots, it still puts on shows around the world. It most recently had a show in Berlin in September of 2024. Name that festival. Brittany, answer and wager.
I said Melody Fest. And I believe my exact words were, how many zeros can I wager on this question?
I have
so many zeros.
I have her down for 37 zeros, and yes, they're all in a row.
Yep, for sure.
Mike, your answer and your wager.
I thought about music festivals around that time, and Lollapalooza was the one that popped into my head.
And your wager?
I wagered 6.
It was initially founded as a farewell for Perry Farrell and Jane's Addiction. Lollapalooza is what we're looking for.
Okay.
So picking up 6, Mike, that's going to bring you up to 43 points.
Oh, give it time.
Brittany, you're still hanging tough at 27.
Yeah,
It's anybody's game.
sure.
All right, we got Donnie Wahlberg, Joey McIntyre sitting right in front of me. Let's move on to question number 1. The category was U.S. presidents. What man?
When I had hair, I was frequently compared to Joey McIntyre, so that's fair.
Well, you are much more Donnie Wahlberg now. I see your hairline.
Yeah, indeed.
Which man who first made a name for himself as a captain during the War of 1812, but rose to prominence during the Mexican-American War, was the most recent man to be elected president of the United States, who was neither a Democrat nor a Republican? Brittany, your answer and your wager.
Let's let Mike go first. It'll be more fun. I've gone first the last 2 times.
It's true.
I know because I messed it up, but Brittany, your answer and your wager.
Okay, fine. I wagered 12 on this one. And I know I looked into this recently because Lincoln was the first Republican president. I think James Buchanan was a Democrat. And I think Franklin Pierce was also a Democrat or Democratic Republican, whatever they were calling themselves at that point. But Millard Fillmore, I know, was a member of the Know Nothing Party. So I said Millard Fillmore.
Mike, your answer and your wager.
I was in a very so first of all, I wagered 30. I fell for Chris's trap because Chris knows that I like presidential stuff. I actually struggled with this one a lot. Lincoln, as Brittany said, was the first Republican. I was pretty sure Buchanan was a Democrat. Then Pierce, Fillmore, I wasn't sure. I thought about going, but I ended up going with my first gut. I thought about going with Pierce because I wasn't sure, but I ended up going a little further back even than Fillmore, and I said Zachary Taylor because I know he was a military person at least, and I'm pretty sure he was a Whig. So that's what I said, Zachary Taylor.
So you both ended up naming presidents that were not Democrats or Republicans. You missed. One of you missed something in the question because the
elected
asked for it to be elected president.
Yep.
Millard Fillmore was a vice president. The correct answer is Zachary Taylor after serving 18 months in office before he died.
Look,
something like that.
I really want to be mad at you, Mike, but I can't because that was very good.
That's why I was between Taylor and Pierce because I was like, Fillmore took over when Taylor died.
So,
I didn't realize Fillmore wasn't elected. So
that's good.
Nope. So Fillmore was a Whig Party member. I don't know about the whole Know Nothing Party.
That may have been Martin Van Buren, to be honest. I get them confused. They're people who exist.
Jackson. I don't think he would have been a Know Nothing Party member, but
I don't remember.
Zachary Taylor was elected as a member of the Whig Party. Zachary Taylor had no interest in being president. They persuaded him because of his prowess on the battlefield, and they ended up getting him elected. He was, what was his nickname? Old Rough and Ready.
Old Rough and Ready, yeah, that's right.
Old Rough and Ready, Zachary Taylor. So, Mike, you're going to pick up the win tonight, my friend. Nicely
You are.
done.
I want to be mad at you, Mike, but I'm really not because that was amazing. You did great.
No, likewise. No, it was funny because, that was my only hang up was I was like Fillmore took over after Taylor, so I was pretty sure it wasn't Fillmore, but I couldn't have told you jack squat about Pierce. So I'm sitting here like, I don't know which way to go.
Well, sometimes those finals just bite you.
So. They do. Mike, you're going to pick up the win tonight. Brittany, you're taking the L, but that means we're going to play your revenge game over Patreon feed on Friday night. You want to tell Mike what topic you're going with?
Did you go with the one I suggested or the one you suggested?
I went with one you suggested because I would not have.
Okay, cool. I said, so Chris had jokingly suggested I just go with whatever Mike wanted or whatever Mike had put. And I was game for that. I said that would be fun, or maybe Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I'm assuming it's on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is what we're going to be doing. Mike, what do you know about Buffy?
Saw the movie. Watched about 2 episodes with Nikki at one point, like early on in our relationship. We were like, let's introduce each other to the things we watched that the other one did not watch. But I know nothing, basically.
I'm just realizing I maybe should have specified I meant the TV show because I have not seen the movie.
I can almost guarantee Chris wrote absolutely nothing about the movie. Maybe he did.
I wish our listeners could see Chris's face right now.
Right. Brittany, to be clear, I've seen the movie precisely one time, so honestly, that's not going to help very much.
Well, we're going to find out how this goes over on Patreon. If you want to listen to that episode, if you want to support the show, patreon.com/PTEBB is the best way to support all of us here at the PTE Network. We're going to call tonight. Mike, you're the winner tonight. For the pub trivia experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Mike.
And I've been Brittany.
And we'll see you on Friday on Patreon. Until then, have a good one.